Somebody wanted to help with the intro. What's up, Mama? I wonder if y'all can hear her purring because this mic tends to drown out a lot of stuff, but her purring is so loud. That's why I don't hold her and record. Hey, Mama, can you give me 20 minutes? I can finish? And then we can cuddle all day. Okay? Well, not all day because I gotta go work out. But we can cuddle. I promise. My sweet girl. Okay, so imagine you're baking cupcakes, minding your business, quite literally, listening to your favorite playlist, when suddenly the mixer turns on by itself. And of course, you're thinking to yourself, maybe that's just a glitch. Let me not think too deep. But when your flour starts flying across the room like it's auditioning for the Poltergeist 3 pastry edition, you realize something else is cooking up, and it's not those cupcakes. Welcome to the Rock City Bakery in downtown Charleston in West Virginia, where the ovens aren't the only things getting hot. Apparently, so do the poltergeists. What's good? What's good in the YouTube hood? It's your girl, Luna Nova and Athena. And I'm back with another one for y'all today. Welcome back to the Mystic News, where we dive into the creepy, the paranormal, and the hey, get down, and the downright strange. What you doing? You showing out. Let's try that again. Take two. What's good? What's good in the YouTube hood? It's your girl, Luna Nova, and I'm back with another one for y'all today. Welcome back to the Mystic News, where we dive into the creepy, the conspiracy, and the downright strange. All right, so today's compilation is going to be something really interesting because the series of videos that you're going to watch are from the co-owner of the Rock City Bakery. So it's not someone else telling their story. They're telling their stories directly. And the co-owner of the bakery has been documenting all of these creepy encounters for years. Yes, years, because when I first stumbled across this story, I think she was saying that these things were starting to happen back in 2017, 2019, and it's 2025. So that just gives you a little perspective of how long this has been going on. And we're not talking about getting chills from having creepy vibes. We're talking full-on poltergeist behavior. Things flying off the shelves and across the room, electronics acting up, because y'all know spirits love to make technology act up. Voices caught on camera, and things literally appearing out of nowhere. And of course, that one corner of the bakery, the activity is just unmatched. Again, the co-owner has been posting for years, and the activity has not slowed down, but it has changed, which makes me think that there's multiple spirits in here, but I'll leave that up to you guys. I don't know about you guys, but it sounds like a ghost signed a lease, and they're just not ready to leave. So we're going to go ahead and get into this creepy compilation, because when I say things get interesting, the more that they progress, you're definitely going to need a snack for this one. So go ahead and grab you a drink, grab you a snack, and let's go ahead and settle in. And don't forget those protection items from yours truly, because after this one, I definitely had to cleanse my space because I got the heebie-jeebies. Might have to take a trip there for one of my vlogs, but I know the owner of the bakery said that they do not want any type of priest. They don't want anyone coming in there because they said they don't want to amp up Frank. Yes, they named him. So with that being said, let's get into this creepy compilation, only if you dare.
Okay, I will give you guys your part two. I had zero intention on filming a part two this quickly. I thought this would be something I just sporadically threw out here and there. So you probably won't get another video for a while, just a heads up. Again, let me just backtrack on a few things because we've gotten a ton of comments and I just want to clarify a few things. One, no, I did not bring this ghost into this building. Like 2 days within the renovations of the building, we had 2x4s flying from the loft. Okay, this was not us. This, whatever this is, has been there long before me, and it'll probably be there long after me once I'm out of that building. Two, people have been like, get a priest in that building. Girl, let me tell you. Okay, back in the day, because again, it has settled down a lot. You have to realize these stories I'm telling you, they're old stories, okay? There was a point back in like 2019, 2020 to where like I was over it, okay? It was not fun and games anymore. I was like Googling poltergeist and it was like level 1 through 6. And based on what Google was telling me, Harry was like at a level 5. And level 6 was like, get out of there. And I was like, oh God, what are we gonna do? Like, I'm not Catholic, you know? You know what I mean? Like, I've just been watching the movies. I don't know what to do. So I did the only thing I knew how to do. And I texted a preacher's wife that I knew, and dropped me names. I was like, look, girl. I was like, I knew you could think I'm crazy. I was like, but I'm going to send you all these pictures and videos, and I'm going to need you to come pray over this building or something. And basically, she told me I was crazy. She was like, look, somebody's messing with you. Like, this ain't it. And I was like, girl, I know you think that I'm just being funny, but, like, I'm not being funny. Like, I need you to come pray for this building. She never gave me, like, any confirmation that they did. I know they did stop in the building, and I know it kind of mild out. So maybe they just swung by and, like, did a little sprinkle of prayer here or there. I don't know. But I took that route, too, okay? I've tried everything. And no, we have not engaged in communication. No, we have not engaged in anything with this ghost other than, like, freaking out sometimes when things happen internally. I have no desire to, and I will not. I'm not opening no doors. I'm not opening no portals of communication. I'm not doing none of that. I'm there to sell cupcakes. I am not there to summon ghosts. So we need to get all that out of the way, okay? I know y'all see us and you think we wear black clothes and we are covered in tattoos and we like rock and roll and we might like to summon ghosts and stuff. We ain't those kind of people, okay? I am not that kind of person. I'm a pussy. I ain't summoning nothing, okay? I am an innocent bystander in this. So do not judge a book by its cover, okay? So also, I do not want people freaked out to come into the bakery, okay? It is absolutely fine during the day, okay? Harry's not going to attack you. Nothing's going to happen, okay? We've been in business for a very long time. This is just like creepy night shift things that we experience in a really historical building. So everybody can just like calm down. There's nothing crazy happening. I'm literally just sharing this with you guys because I just think it's crazy, some of the videos that I have. With all of that being said, part 2. So I told you guys about the spiderweb bowls morphing out of the painting. The first instant we had something morphing out of a painting was a Dr. Pepper can. I'm pretty sure this happened pre-spiderweb bowls. Like, this happened before the spiderweb bowls, but I just said the spiderweb bowls first, one, because the video was so clear. There was nothing, like, in the way of the video. And 2, I don't know what it is about them bowls. Everybody in that building has their, like, trigger moment that, like, really triggers them in their own personal experience. The spiderweb bowls were mine. I have, like, several instances and like big things that we have clear on camera, and it kind of affects other people in the building, like employees or Courtney or Bern, and that's like kind of their moment of like, oh my God, this building's haunted. The spiderweb bowls was mine. The Dr. Pepper can was equally as crazy. And when I insert the clip, I'm gonna have to break down a few things for you because there's multiple things happening in this video. So when you're in Rock City, the staircase, you have like the first set of stairs and there's like a little wall, and it's just a wall. There's nothing behind it. And we have canvases on it. That part of the wall is usually what I put, like, if like people paint us something and bring it to us as a gift, or, you know, it's not like my purchased art. It's like my gifted art, basically. And there was this little painting, and this little young girl painted it for us years ago. And again, there is no relevance to these paintings, okay? Several things has happened with like pieces of art or paintings, and like it doesn't seem to have a rhyme or reason. It's not like the actual painting itself. But just so you know, there's like, it's a cupcake painting, and it's like the average size canvas. I mean, it's not like a big, huge one. It's just like an average, like the kind you would buy at Michael's. And it has like a cupcake on it, and it says like, come as you are. It's like a Nirvana themed cupcake type deal. We still have this painting. I still have it on the wall. The little girl's really proud to paint it for us. I wish I remembered her name. She's probably not little anymore. And it has a hole in it, actually, where the Dr. Pepper can ripped through it. I contemplated going to the bakery today and taking a picture just so you guys would believe me that there's a hole in it, but I didn't want to walk in there alone because y'all have me kind of spooked out. I'm gonna have to sleep that off. So I'll just, you know, you'll just have to take my word for it that there is a hole in this painting, like a rip, like somebody punched through it from the back. So it's like the middle of the night. I don't even remember what time it is. The video I'm about to show might be time stamped. It's not as clear as the spiderweb bowl one because the stairwell is kind of like there's things everywhere, but then also it's nighttime. So the cameras are in night mode. The lights were not on in the lobby. Same thing, like things have just been happening repeatedly. This was when Harry was at an all-time high. And we heard like just this big dramatic noise in the lobby, and we were all on edge anyway. So we walk out and we're like, what in the world was that? So, you got to kind of get your bearings. You got to kind of look around. It was a Dr. Pepper can. Now, again, a little backstory to the Dr. Pepper. Our drink cooler was not stocked. I had not ordered Sam's in at least 3 weeks, and we did not have any Dr. Pepper. How do I know this? Because I'm a Dr. Pepper girly. Okay, I love Dr. Pepper. So, like, for the past, 2 weeks, I'm sitting here complaining, like, man, I wish I had a DP. I wish I had a DP. So, I know we had no Dr. Pepper in the building because I had been wanting Dr. Pepper, and I kept complaining that I hadn't ordered Sam's, and our drink cooler was empty. So, I see a Dr. Pepper can on the ground, and I'm like, that's interesting. So, then I look, and it's, close to Halloween, and, even if it wasn't close to Halloween, sometimes we'll put stuff out for Halloween and we like it, so we keep it out because it matches the vibe. And we had these things from Michael's. I don't know if it's a cat or some kind of animal bone plastic thing. And it was on top of the piano. And I noticed that skeleton thing was on the ground too. And I was like, okay, wow, he's really made a ruckus out here. So I go to pull up the camera. And this is where I will pause. And I will just edit the video in here. Okay. So the first thing you're going to see is I had to turn it sideways, but just look towards the back stairway. You'll see the Dr. Pepper can fly. There's an orb to the right, and then the skeleton falls. So here's a zoomed in Dr. Pepper can flying out of the canvas. Again, there's just a wall behind it. I know it's blurry. I apologize for the quality. Let me reverse it, and you'll see the Dr. Pepper can come back. It literally comes straight out of the painting. Now, next, please look after the Dr. Pepper can falls, the orb flying up from the top left. And then the bones fall, and there's an orb flying to the piano bench. And then at the bottom of the right, there's another orb that flies up. So there's 3 total orbs in this video. And it is absolutely insane to me. So again, I know that video quality isn't as clear as the spiderweb bowl. But for me at the time, I was able to actually get it from our security camera app. So it was very easy. It was much easier to zoom in and manipulate and look and completely dissect it. I hope you guys can see what I see, because when the Dr. Pepper can comes out, there's an orb that flies up like this. And then there is the bones fall off, and there's an orb that kind of goes around the piano bench. And then there's an orb that flies to the right of the couch. So if you actually slow it down and pay attention, there's these little balls of light that fly by, and then the thing happens. And that was really trippy to me, because you hear about orbs and all these things that happen at the bakery usually is more poltergeisty, in the sense that things just fly and stuff. We have seen a shadow figure. We call him the Shadow Man. And it's weird, you can see it out of the corner of your eyes. That's happened a few times, but we don't really see physical ghost or anything. It's more just things happening. So to actually see those little balls of light as it's happening, that's happened a couple times, and that really freaked me out a lot. But yeah, so that's the story of the Dr. Pepper can flying through the painting. And I hope that you guys see that. Again, I'm not trying to convince anybody of anything. I'm simply just sharing stories that we've experienced. And again, I have a ton of videos. I will share it with you guys over the course of time, but you know, you guys got to go easy on me because I am able to work at Rock City and maintain my mental health because like I don't hyperfixate on the weird things that happen from time to time. And you know, it's one of those things, like I don't want to manifest it to be stronger or like put all my energy or focus on it, because I'm not trying to be with no ghost. I'm not a ghost girly. Okay, so you know, it's all fun and games to talk about, but I do have my limits. I do have my limits. Back to what triggered this all this past weekend, with the sloth and everything. I do have, you know, a series of events that kept happening. And, you know, I might cover that this week or a couple other things if you guys want to hear about it. But it was just a crazy weekend, guys. And so, yeah, that is part 2, episode 2 of The Bakery's Haunted. All right, guys, we are back with episode 3 of The Bakery is Haunted. I wanted to bring Vern in for this one because as I was telling you guys earlier, everything that happens in the bakery, we all have our trigger moments. This happened a few years ago. You know how many years ago?
I think in 2020 or maybe early 2021.
I think it might have been 2021.
It was definitely one of the two.
I think
for
it was,
sure.
We'll see. Maybe you'll probably be able to tell on the footage. But this happened to Vern and Madison on a Saturday when I was not even in the building because I was going on a wedding delivery.
Yes, it was just me and Madison in the building. It was like middle of the day. Nothing abnormal. I mean, Morgan and Courtney were going on a wedding cake delivery and me and Madison were holding it down and...
So, I just remember, I just get a phone call from
yes,
like,
well, let me lay it out for you guys.
Yeah,
okay.
Lay it out.
So, in the meantime, there's no one back in the kitchen because Morgan and Courtney are the ones back there. It's the last cake of the day, I'm pretty sure, or vice versa. There was no one in the kitchen actively working. Me and Madison were both waiting on the front. Well, I get a phone call, and it was, I'm pretty sure it was like an older lady or something to the effect of I couldn't hardly hear her. So, it's hard to explain without them saying, maybe we'll have you edit in some pictures of like the layout. But there's our prep room, there's a small little hallway, and then there is a supply room. So I stepped into the supply room away from the speaker so I can hear this woman more clearly. Madison's continuing to wait on someone at the front counter. Well, halfway through this conversation, I just hear loud, like a very loud thump, and I'm like, oh my God. Madison just dropped a whole tray of stuff out of the pastry case. There's stuff probably everywhere in the floor. So I'm still on the phone with this woman communicating. I don't put her on mute or anything. So I step out there, and then Madison looks at me, and I look at her. And I think at that moment, we both realized that it was not each other. So I said, did you do anything? Did you drop a tray? And she said, no. And then the shock of terror takes over her face. And she said, I thought it was you. So I'm like, okay. So let me figure out what this noise is. So I finish the phone call with the customer. I go back to the prep room and I see a tray in the floor that I know was not there.
Yeah.
And well, Morgan's going to insert the video now.
Yeah, we'll stop right now. I'm going to put in the video and just let you guys see. You guys understand this. There is nothing behind where that tray came from. It's a Saturday, the kitchen's a mess. We've just done 500 wedding cakes. It's the time where we're breaking everything down, taking the dirty dishes to the dish room, moving tables out. And so where the tray came flying from is nothing but a wall. I'll insert a picture right here so you guys can see. The tray was completely flat on the microwave. There was no gel bottles on top of the microwave.
It wasn't tilted. It was perfectly pushed back. It wasn't like it was halfway hanging off.
Even if it was hanging off, it wouldn't have came down with that kind of force. However, it wasn't hanging off. It was flat on top of the microwave. And as you can see, it's not physically possible for anybody to be behind there and push it off. Oh.
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 And so after, I'm looking, I can't figure out what this noise is. So I'm like, hey, Morgan, can you like check the cameras for me and, see what's going on, make sure nothing's happened. And so Morgan checks the cameras and she's like, Vern, I don't know if you want me to tell you. And I said, well, I need to be prepared if it's that bad. And so she tells me and sends me the video. And I'm just like, okay.
It was also like during the time though that like I've said, like Harry used to be really scary. Like,
yes, it was during the time where he was a lot more active, I guess is a word to use.
Yeah.
And it was also in the middle of the day, which I will say, typically most things happen in the evening or at night. Like there is stuff that happens during the day, but nothing forceful like that. Usually is during the day. So yeah.
it would get to the point though to where like things would happen and like me and Courtney would contemplate like just hiding it and not telling the employees though, because the employees were so freaked out. Like it got to the point to where my payroll was like doubling because somebody wanted to be here by themselves. Like
I'm one of those people.
Yeah,
I'm one of those people. I'm personally like terrified of the paranormal. Morgan knows this about me. I've never once been like a ghost hunter. I'm not that type of person. I'm just very much like, you leave me alone, I'll leave you alone, we can coexist. Cool. So whenever she sent me that video, I was like, okay, that one was a little intense. So it's just one of those triggers for me.
But like you would agree with me though that it's so weird because sometimes like you walk in here and it's completely normal.
Oh, absolutely.
And then sometimes you walk up in here and it's like so heavy you feel it in your chest, like the hairs stand up on your arm.
Yes. So like for example, I'm one of the people that come in the early mornings. So sometimes I come in here and there's no one else in here. I'm by myself.
Because I oversleep every day.
It's okay. We call it sometimes a 30-minute delay. It's no big deal.
Yeah.
So I'll come in here and there's times that the aura is just completely off. And I just have this overwhelming feeling like I'm being watched, like I'm not alone. And so I just turn on my podcast on full blast and just go for the day. I flick on every single light in this building, including the bathroom hallway, which that'll be another part. I'll come in for that one.
Yeah.
That's a whole other...
I can't wait to dive into last weekend with them.
Yes, exactly. But there's times you come in and it's perfectly normal and you're perfectly fine.
Yeah. And sometimes he's just riled up.
Yeah.
He's just riled up.
Yeah.
So we try to just use the buddy system. Like I said, I wanted to bring Vern in. I really wish that Madison still worked here and was here today because Madison deserves every bit to be in this video. She was tore up. Madison and Lex both went through all the torture.
Maybe we'll bring them in on like a FaceTime
We might
situation.
like Zoom or something.
Because I feel like Lex definitely has a lot to tell you guys.
Yeah.
And I think it also counts with the fact that it's more than just like Morgan telling you these stories. It's literally every employee that's ever worked here.
I told y'all I wasn't crazy.
No, she's not.
Yeah. So that is the story of the tray. It's a quick little one, a little bit shorter than the rest. We have plenty more. We'll sprinkle out if you're still interested.
I have one about cookies. That one will maybe be next. I'm not sure.
We'll probably do the cookie one next. The cookie box was one of the first ones we had on camera.
It was also the very first experience I had with Harry. So that one's a little bit, plus the video, you can definitely see.
You can literally see a handprint.
Something going on. So yeah, we'll be here for part 4.
Yeah, episode 4, the cookie box. Okay, welcome back. This is episode 4 of the Bakery is Haunted series. Again, y'all are low-key cracking me up right now because I did not expect you guys to be this into it. Okay, so let's start off with a couple things. I'm not trying to ramble, but it's important to discuss. There are a lot of stories, that I don't have footage for. Like some of the craziest things that's happened has been in blind spots where we don't have security cameras because the public doesn't typically go there, or, the cameras were down, or, things like that. So I guess the first question is, are you guys curious to hear those stories too? Or do you just want me to stick to the things I have solid video evidence of? That's a serious question because you guys keep bringing up the bunny, and which we do not speak of. I still haven't decided if I wanted to. But again, there's like a lot of things that I don't have proof for. So I don't know if we're to the point now to where we've built a trusting foundation for our relationship and you want to hear my stories, or if you just want me to stick to solid proof. What we're going to go over today is the wrench and the flower pot. Let me give you some backstory here. So the bakery is technically 3 floors. It's kind of offset. You have your main lobby area. You have your first set of steps, which has a projector room to the right. We call it the mezzanine. It's just like the first little level, and then back behind it is where our soundboard is. If you go up the second set of steps, which overlooks the lobby, it's just one big long loft. Most of you guys locally know, but I know there's people here that's never been in Rock City, so I just want to explain that. The loft overlooks the big lobby. Attached to the loft, on the other side, is a room. It used to be our green room. We had like a mini fridge, a TV set up, a futon, a love seat. You know, it was like a cute little, like when our bands would come, that was the green room. And then behind the first part of the room, the second part of the room is like a breaker box, a couple breaker boxes. We usually had like pipe and drape up, and we had a bunch of storage back there. It's where we keep our Christmas trees, etc., etc. And then there's like a little office in there. Something about the green room, I'm going to refer to it as the green room because to us, it's to the green room. It's the green room. It's also where we had our fire a few years ago. Not speaking of the fire. And so we've never really went back in there after the fire. We never recovered our green room. We never fixed it. We did the bare minimum to get it up to code, and we don't go in there unless we have to. It's very disheveled and disorganized because when it comes time to take down Christmas or something, we literally just throw it in there. We don't want to be in there any longer than we have to. There's always been something about the green room. The loft area, kinda, but really the green room. I joke and I say it's Harry's bedroom. When we had it really fixed up, I mean, it was cute. There was dangly lights, it's where we put our bands. So like if I wanted to get away from the bakery, I used to nap in there. And it was always so heavy. I mean, I'm talking from before the bakery was even open and we were still doing remodels. Like I would go lay down in there because technically that was supposed to be the office area, and it just feels so heavy, like someone is watching you. And before all this stuff started happening, I would write it off as, okay, well, I'm just being paranoid. I'm in a dark room by myself. This is a huge building. I'm afraid of like homeless people sneaking in. Like I'm just being paranoid. It's my anxiety because I naturally am an anxious person. But it always seems to be like there's hot spots in the building, and that is the hottest. That is the hottest spot. As we started noticing things because anytime something flies in the lobby and lands on the floor or hits the back wall, it always comes from upstairs, the main top tier, the loft green room. It always comes flying from the loft, but it's always an item from the green room, if that makes sense. Like we keep our seasonal storage in there. So like if Harry decides he's pelting down, cupcake rings, like the things you put on top of cupcakes that are Valentine's Day that day, they're coming out of the Valentine's Day storage that's in the green room. And it's flying down from the loft. He loves to throw change, like pennies. He loves pennies. Also, another thing, if you're ever in the bakery, totally unrelated, you'll see change everywhere. Change is constantly being thrown. Most of the time, it's pennies. And if you notice, it's always heads up. I've seen one penny that wasn't heads up my entire time being there. It was tails up, and I think that's because we dropped it. But it's always heads up. And I just thought that's the craziest thing. Like, it got to the point I started noticing, and then I, like, really paid attention to it. I'm like, oh, my gosh, this change is always heads up. It's never tails up. Unrelated. But anyway, like, we kept seeing pennies. And I was like, where are all these pennies coming from? We don't even use pennies. We're in 50 cents or $1 dominate. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, we don't have anything that, like, is to the penny. So we don't even get pennies in our drawer hardly. So I remembered when I moved into my house during COVID, I had an island countertop at my house. So I went to the bank and I got like $100 in pennies because I was doing like an epoxy penny project at my house. So when I got done, I had this huge baggie of pennies because I didn't like realize how far they went. And I just threw them in the green room because I was like, oh, what am I ever going to do with all these pennies? So it just got threw up in the green room one day. All these pennies were coming from that bag of pennies. Same with the batteries. There was like a bag of batteries up there. That's where we kept it. And batteries just kept getting pelted down. And it was like such a particular brand because it was like a weird off brand that I got in a store one day. And so I say all this to say, that everything that comes flying down from the loft is located in the green room, aka Harry's bedroom. Mind you, that's also where we keep the majority of our tools. We keep a few tools downstairs, like in our mop closet, just like readily available, but most of the tools are in a box up there because we don't use tools very often. I'm just not that kind of lesbian. So one day we're sitting, I think I'm in the kitchen. Again, I think it's a Saturday. It's definitely not at nighttime. It's during the day. And I hear the loudest noise. It sounded like something broke in the lobby. I was like, what's he on again? What's he doing now? So I go out there. And back in the day, when we first got this shop, I blacked out in Hobby Lobby. I went to Hobby Lobby for one chair and came out and spent like $8,000. I haven't been to Hobby Lobby since. I'm still probably paying off that bill. So I had all these cute little centerpieces on every single one of our tables. I'd have like a little skull, and like I love succulents. So I had this succulent planter. It's like it was like clay and gray, and it was like styrofoam. It was fake, and it was succulent, and it was in the middle of our table. Well, this succulent was on the ground, and it looked like this. Here's the aftermath of what Harry did to this succulent plant. And I was like, okay, no problem. Maybe it's a mouse. Maybe it's a rat, one of the cat rats from the river. Maybe we got a rodent problem. Well, of course, I pull up the footage, and I'll just let you see for yourself. So you can see it come flying down from the loft full force in this video right here. Bam, right there. Now that I assume you've probably seen this video and I've edited it in, that is the story of Harry chucking a wrench from the loft. When we first got there, there was a couple instances where like 2x4s, like little pieces of wood, because we were sawing stuff, we were ripping out walls, we did all the stuff ourselves. And like, so we tried to keep the mess up in the loft just to get the lobby ready as soon as possible. And we would like hear loud thumps and like boards would come flying down. We'd be like, where did that come from? Because our security cameras weren't even installed yet. We'd just gotten the building. And that's like when we first, I mean, this was like 2 days in. So for all you people saying that I brought Harry in with me from one of my other haunt trips or something, that ain't true. Harry's been there forever, okay? Harry has been there forever. I did not bring Harry in that building. He did not attach to me. Okay, he's attached to 205 Capitol Street. So, like, usually it's little things. Like, it'll be Hershey's Kisses or, like, the most random thing. Like, last weekend when I told you she was riled up, he threw down, like, a Korean soda. Like, one of those tall, like, bottles that's, like, Korean brand. I think it came from, like, King's or something. He chucked that down. Like, you never know what he's going to throw down. But it's very rarely, like, a wrench. Because if somebody would have been standing there, that would have, like, you would have been, like, comatose. I mean, this thing was, like, a heavy-duty planter, and it split it in half. That's how much force it came down with. So that one really freaked me out. That one really freaked me out. For the simple fact that, like, again, he was in his, like, you know, realm of really messing stuff up. And it was just, like, really creeping me out. Like, for example, like, the loft, like, he was moving heavy things. Like, I went up to the loft one day, and I'll insert the picture here. The chairs were like this. I texted every employee we have, even though I knew it wasn't the employees, because nobody ever goes up there, and we hadn't had a show or anything to prompt them to go up there. But I texted, you know, I think it was Josh at the time. He was like, you know, doing our dishes and cleaning around. And so Josh, like, did you move the chairs upstairs? And no, I haven't been upstairs. Why? And they look like this. Like, what is that? Like, what kind of ghost power is that to lift chairs like that? I did look at the cameras. I didn't screen record it, but, like, totally glitched out while that happened. Like, I have no footage of that. They don't exist. They were just black. It said, like, connection error. So I guess he doesn't like to let us see him do strong stuff. But yeah, I mean, it's crazy. So, you know, there was times of it getting, like, really physical. Like I said, like he loved to, the one time that I was super, super freaked out was one of those days, like it was like, again, it's calmed down a lot, guys. Like it's kind of things you laugh at now. It's nothing crazy. But at the time, like when I told you guys before, like when I was Googling like poltergeist, like level, like 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, basically. And 6 was like, you're about to get possessed, get out of the building. 5 was like, this is getting really extreme and starting to hurt you physically. Well, one day, like we were in the lobby, he was throwing down batteries. I mean, I'm talking at least every 2 minutes, something was hitting and you would hear it. Okay. And pennies upon pennies. It was like he was feeling the pennies and batteries and cupcake rings that day was what he was feeling. And we were all standing at the desk. I was at my computer when you first walk in. Courtney was to my right. Nope. I think Lex was to my right. Courtney was like across from us, like on the other side of the counter. And I think like somebody else, I can't remember who it was, but there was like 3 or 4 of us. So like there's other witnesses. Out comes this penny. And we hear it. And then somebody was like, ow. And I'm like, what was that? And I kid you not, guys, this penny left a mark instantly in a round circle on the skin. Let me show you right here. Tell me that isn't crazy. Imagine throwing a penny at somebody and throwing it hard enough to leave a mark. I don't even know if that's possible for it to land flat like that. That is one of the days that I was about to turn the open sign off. And very shortly after, that was when I said I was like reaching out to like preacher wife that I knew. I was like I needed to get the building prayed over. I needed like, because it was getting physical. I was like, oh my God, like I'm gonna be like Emily Rose or something in one of the movies. I can't be like, I ain't trying to get possessed. I ain't trying to have none of my staff. I can't imagine the workers' comp if one of my staff gets possessed. So it got really freaky there. And I feel comfortable telling this now because it's not like that anymore. I don't want anybody to think that like we're in danger, because I don't think we are. But that is probably one of the craziest. But yeah, I will edit this and put it up for you guys, and we'll get you episode 5 soon. Y'all, I had to, guys, listen, it is 12:39 a.m. We were in the bakery. Nothing was bad. Oh God, I'm out of breath. We just ran out. We just ran out so hard that Courtney failed full force on her face. Listen, everything was fine. Nothing was wrong. We were here. We were doing some stuff. Stop. I'm joking. She hurt herself and she deserves to be hurt. There's this ghost app you can download on your phone. And it has like, we used to use it when we used to go to these places. There's like 3 different settings. Like it has like a spirit, like voice box thing. And it can pick up words. Has like a tappy feature. A bunch of features. And it has like a meter. God, my heart is like palpitating out of my chest. And when it's like the circle is going like this, it like, if it picks something up through its like frequency or whatever, it'll show up like green, yellow, red, depending on how strong it is, and it'll make a beeping noise. And I'd recognize this beep anywhere. I made her delete it off her phone. She downloaded it the other day because she was reading y'all's videos and was like, oh, I'm ready to communicate with Harry. Maybe he just needs peace. Bitch, let me tell you, her phone was up front on charge, and I heard this thing going beep, beep, the ghost app noise. This bitch just started going off out of nowhere. The app was not open on her phone. It was up, open, all the lights flashing red. And as soon as we walked up, once we finally got the nerve to walk up to her phone and see why the hell this app was open and going off, it said a word. It said mean. M-A-M-E-A-N, mean. Bitch, when I tell you, we just ran out of that bakery so fast. I don't know what just happened, but the first word Harry ever spoke to us was mean. M-E-A-N. So, no ma'am. Not tonight. No. Absolutely not. Oh God, I hate you.
So George,
I'm gonna kill you. I'm gonna kill you right. I'm gonna kill you because this dumb you can make me cry. This dumb downloaded the ghost app on her phone, and it is out there in the lobby on charge, going off right now. It has not been open. The app is not open. I don't know what to do. I'm not going out there. I'm gonna kill your ass, Courtney. I can't believe you did this. I cannot believe you downloaded that. Just stop. What do we do? I don't. Where's your phone? Where's your phone on charge? It's on charge on my iPad. You want me to walk out there right now?
Oh, God.
Just hold on. I'm not ready. I'm not ready. Do y'all hear it beeping? God, I hope they can hear it beeping. You go first. Good God Almighty. Courtney,
Mean.
it just said mean. Get out of here. Get out. Jesus. Okay, it's time for episode 6 of the Harry Chronicles. I know a lot of you guys are waiting on the cookie box video. I'm waiting on Burn to film that one because I want him in it for that. I decided that I'm going to tell you guys what started this whole thing. When I first recorded this video, I told you guys it was because I had a really rough weekend at work. And it's just been a while since something that extreme has happened here. I've learned through this journey that what Harry, whatever he is or it is or they are, it's called apportation. And that is basically, for those of you that don't know, being able to move events, manipulate events, I guess, through like time and dimensions. And he can take an object from one place, make it vanish, and make it reappear elsewhere. He can move it, make it completely vanish and reappear. So I think that naturally as humans, we all have the ability to sense things or see these things. And I think since, you know, we're all pretty much raised to like block that out, I think we are not nurtured to cater to that. And so what I've noticed with this is once you like experience stuff like this, it starts happening more and more. And not like in a like I'm Emily Rose and I'm possessed way, but like it's almost like I've developed like a sense, like I can feel, not that I like have any talents, I'm not saying that, but like you just become more aware. And it's almost like it like leveled up like how you see the world, I guess. So like what you're about to hear me say is not necessarily like, I don't have video evidence of it. Our cameras are down. I'm not trying to convince you. At this point, you either believe me or not. I've been here. I've experienced it. I do not blame you for not believing somebody on the internet. So we'll start with that. But the other day at work, I was napping on the couch. And I did not have to come to work. I got my case done during the day. Courtney had to work through the night. She had orders, and she was like, I'm not coming in by myself. I was like, that's fine. I'll just come sleep on the couch. Something was going on. Like, there was noises everywhere, and it wasn't just noises, because, like, we're used to those. I had, like, the heaviest feeling. Sometimes I can lay down, and I'm, like, the hardest sleeper on the planet. I'm the type of person, as soon as my head hits the pillow, I'm passed out and could sleep through a tornado. But sometimes something gets my heart rate so up in this building, and, like, I'm just so on edge and anxious that, like, even when I do fall asleep, it's, like, light as a feather. Like, I can hear a pin drop and wake up. Like, which is so out of character for me. And it was one of those nights. Like, I was really struggling to fall asleep. So usually when I start feeling like that here, I know it's going to be a rough night because things just start happening. And it's happened several times. So I'm laying on the couch. I've got this feeling. I can't fall asleep. And all of a sudden, I feel something pelt my foot. My eyes are closed. I mean, I've got the blanket over my head, okay? Like, I am like a wuss at this point. And I feel something pelt my foot. And I'm like, oh God, what did he just throw at me? And I brought this for visual. When you're rolling out cookies, you can get a roller that has these things on the end so you can like know the thickness of your cookies and it's all consistent. And so as you can see, like, you've really got to put an effort to like unscrew it, take it off, this thing. Like, it doesn't just fall off. It was this thing that hit me in the foot. And I knew that it was screwed onto the roller. So I was like, oh God, great. So naturally I hollered for Courtney. I'm like just stressed. Okay, there are noises, there are banging, and I'm just like, ugh, whatever. And I look up and the like Korean soda bottle was like laying on the floor in the lobby because it like, I guess, got pelted down. And I was like, where did a Korean soda bottle come from? And at this point, mind you, this is all happening, I know, because we hid the sloth. Okay, the sloth is hidden. Nobody knows where it is. Burn hid it because if you guys remember, I woke up a few days prior and this sloth had levitated and was staring at me, straight at me. And I was like, no ma'am, we are not going for round 2 on Harry's pick of stuffed animal because bunny PTSD. Remember, bunny PTSD. And that just triggered me because I know y'all don't know about the bunny, but no stuffed animal has like harassed me or like went around or, you know, tried to burn the building down or do anything dramatic since the bunny. Okay. And so that just set me off, and I was like so on edge. And like at that point I got up, I put some cakes in the oven, you know, I tried to do something productive to like get my blood pressure down. Well, then I'm like, okay, I'm lying back down, let me lay back down. Well, all of a sudden, again, super light as a feather sleep, could wake up at the sound of a pin drop. It's just, I can't explain it. It takes over your whole body. Like, it's just, you're just filled with anxiety. I don't know what else to put. Like, it's not the normal kind of anxiety. Like, you just sense something. It really gets you on edge, all your senses. Well, all of a sudden, I feel something light as a feather. It's not even like it came down and hit my face. It just like, let's say I'm laying down on a pillow. I just felt this. Like, it just like appeared right here. It didn't come down and hit me right here. It just suddenly something was laying right here. It's like it appeared out of thin air and I could just feel it on my head. At the same time, Courtney screams. And I'm like, oh God. So things are happening spontaneously. I'm like, what? So this hat. This is a hat that I've had for a hot minute. I'm one of those people, I lose things, okay? And when I say lose, an ADHD kind of lose. Like, I know my keys are in the car, don't know where, but the car's starting. You know what I mean? Like, I know my wallet's not stolen, it's just somewhere in one of my 15 spots. So when I couldn't find this hat in this bakery probably about 6 months ago, I didn't think too much into it. I was like, it'll show up eventually. I have not seen this hat in a solid 6 months. I know that because I love this hat. This is one of my favorite hats. I wear it all the time. And I just assumed I'd sat it somewhere and it would eventually turn up. When I woke up, I woke up and I felt this. And I finally get the nerve because I'm scared. I'm literally like, I don't even want to open my eyes. I'm so scared. I just feel something on my face. I look up and I see this hat and I'm about to shit my pants, y'all. I'm about to shit my pants. This hat literally appeared out of thin air on my head like this, sideways, as I was sleeping. So this hat, I know you're not going to believe me, I don't have video footage. It literally, like I said, it did not come down and hit me. Like, I would have felt that. Like, it literally, like, I felt it just be there. I was like, okay, so again, that's apportation, okay? Well, then Courtney's like, Morgan. So Courtney's in the oven room getting cakes out of the oven while this is happening to me. And I just hear her like screaming, come running in here. I'm like, what happened? She shows me this video. She said that she was in the oven getting ovens out and she heard racks, like the rolling racks, move. So like naturally she just like got her phone out and started filming. Nobody else is here. It's like 2 o'clock in the morning. Like, the back door's closed. Like, there's not a draft. Like, you just have to know the building. As soon as she started filming, somebody takes this rolling rack and literally turns it and starts pushing it. I'll insert the video again, even though I've already put it at the beginning. So, at that point, we're just like both shook. We're just like, God, I hate it here. And that is when I'm literally like, Harry. I can't say that. Let me bleep that. Harry, stop. Stop. I will give you, like, whatever you want. Like, you can have your toys back, like, that we've hid. Like, you can have it all back. But, like, you've got to stop. Like, you've got to let me sleep. Like, you've got to let me sleep. And he did. It was the craziest thing. Like, immediately, the feeling went away. And I went to sleep. And I know you're going to think that I'm crazy, guys. But it's like, things are just appearing out of thin air. Like, just thin air. Like, there's no explanation for it. Like, is it a ghost? Some of y'all say, I need holy water and it's a demon. Some of y'all say it's a ghost. Some of y'all say it's a 14-year-old boy. I don't know where you're getting that it's a 14-year-old boy. I do agree with some people that I think it might be like multiple spirits. Because, like, back in the day when Harry was really riled up being crazy. Like, he was being crazy. He was giving Scorpio energy back in the day. And, like, it felt almost like scary. Like, evil scary. I don't know how to, like, put that into words. And then it got really, really bad. And then it kind of dissipated and went away. And then things started happening again, but it was completely different energy. Like, the energy I feel now, like, does it startle me? Yeah, it startles me, okay? Anybody's going to get startled when things appear out of thin air and come flying, okay? That's just a natural human reaction. I am not a psychic. I am not a ghost hunter. I don't go into this world. But it doesn't feel like evil, if that makes sense. Like, it doesn't feel like, oh my God, like, I'm going to, you know, need an exorcist. Like, it doesn't feel like that. Well, most of the time. So, I don't really know what's going on, guys. I don't really know. A lot of y'all's mentioned multiple timelines and, like, things like that. And I, you know, honestly, if I had to lean towards anything, it'd probably be that. But it's just really mind-blowing. Because, like, again, I totally get it if you guys don't believe a stranger on the internet. Okay? I get it. But, like, me, like, I know I didn't fake this. I would never fake this in a million years. And, like, we spend our whole life, like, wondering, like, what is life, basically. I know everybody thinks about it. Like, some people take the religious route. Some people take, I don't care what route you take. We always wonder, like, what is more than the life we know? And, like, I have proof that there's something. And, like, that is mind-blowing. And I think that's why I love doing these videos so much, because I've been sitting on this for years. And the people that have experienced this with me, like employees, Courtney, my family, like in this bakery, like, we've all been sitting on this for years, and I've not said a word because I don't want people to think I'm crazy. I'm not trying to get, like a check. You know what I mean? And, like, so you can only imagine the wormholes and the mind games that plays on you when you're constantly just, like, down this wormhole in your head of, like, oh my God, like, what is going on? Things is poofing out of thin air. Things are being morphed. There are, like, multiple timelines happening. Like, it's crazy. So it feels good to talk about it. So, you know, honestly, I know this was a mild story, but shout out to you guys for following this, because this is almost therapeutic in a way. It really is. And for the haters on TikTok with a short attention span, I'm going to start putting the videos, the evidence up front. And y'all that want to hear me talk can just listen to me talk, because this is free therapy. Okay? Free therapy for me. And I really appreciate it, because it is just weird. Weird stuff. So, I'm really curious as to what you think Harry is. Like, do you think Harry's like, what do you think is happening? What do you think is happening? Just tell me that. Do you think I have a ghost? Do you think I got a demon? Do you think that there's, like, multiple parallel universes? Like, please just somebody tell me what is happening in this bakery right now. Thank you. See you next time.
Now, whether you believe the bakery is haunted or not, one thing is for sure. Those spirits have a sweet tooth for chaos. I mean, if a ghost ever wants to throw pans and flour, they could at least help you clean up afterwards. You would think, right? No, but seriously, the fact that this has been happening for years really makes me wonder what exactly is keeping that spirit or multiple spirits there? I don't know, maybe the owners of the bakery made something wrong and the ghosts just weren't happy and that's why they're throwing things. I'd be mad too. I love a good muffin or a good croissant. Oh, don't get me started on cupcakes, y'all. I'm just a foodie. I love me some bread, pasta. That's my problem. I like carbs, but I digress. I don't know. Maybe the Rock City Bakery is just sitting on some spiritually active grounds. Who knows? I might have to take a trip there for one of my vlogs, but I know the owner of the bakery said that they do not want any type of priest. They don't want anyone coming in there because they said they don't want to amp up Frank. Yes, they named him. And if you ask me, naming it was a terrible mistake because when you give something a name, you give it power. And I don't think this is something that they should have given power. But either way it goes, I'll be watching from a distance because the only thing that I want rising in my kitchen is my bread, not my blood pressure. So if you enjoyed tonight's tale, be sure to go ahead and like, comment, and subscribe, and join the channel as a member so you don't miss out on any other creepy shenanigans that happens over here. And of course, if you have your own creepy encounters that you'd like to share with the Hoodlum family, make sure that you check out the description of this video for my email so you can send in your stories for Mystic Monday, my original podcast where I share creepy encounters from viewers like you. But let me know down in the comments, would you still grab a cookie from the Rock City Bakery? Or are you just ghosting that place for good? As I stated in previous videos, since Halloween has passed, everybody has been sharing a lot of their creepy encounters and spooky stories. And y'all, the content is going to keep flowing because when I say I got so many stories, so many compilations from just one encounter, it's amazing. So with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and get out of here so I can edit this video and push another one for you guys because you guys have been giving such great feedback in the comments about how you're loving how much I'm rolling out. So I'm going to keep it up. So with that being said, make sure that you drink your water, mind your business, and stay prayed up and protected. And as always, Luna loves you. I'll be back with another video for you guys if the spirits allow it. Give it right back, did it give it right back? This look, kitty, can I sit right back? Wanna give it right back, baby?